So do you ever feel like Jason and Ghost? Like your CRM pops up a name and you see there, Jenny L. clicked on our Facebook coupon for her oil change. And then you go ahead and you give her a call and there's just nothing there. There's nothing. It's like the person is allergic to humans and they just send you to voicemail, right? Are they shopping for service? Are they shopping for a car? Or maybe they just clicked the link to check out our promotion on that free Yeti cooler that we threw online. The point is that we have no idea, right? They click the button, there's a name right there in our CRM, we see a phone number, we call it crickets. But you got to assume that they're ready to buy, right? I mean, because you're looking at your CRM and your CRM's like, new up, it's on fire. And so you go ahead and you start dialing the number. Manager comes up behind you like an overcaffeinated meerkat staring over your shoulder like, yo, is it a good one? Is it a good one? Is it a good one? I get it. Take a seat. Everybody chill out. Today we're going to be digging into digital leads without turning ourselves into human versions of spam folders. Because one of the things that we all hate doing is cold calling. Because, well, it can grind you down. We're going to go through how to make sure that we don't get ground down into dust. And at the same time, we're also going to figure out how to go ahead and identify these leads and be able to get some conversations going with them. So quick story. I once had a guy go ahead and he submitted a lead through one of those like get approved now kind of buttons. So he goes ahead, he clicks the button, and it turns out he was just trying to see how the button worked. Yeah, I kid you not. He told me exactly that. I mean, he literally went ahead and told me, I get bored at lunch and I click stuff. So anyways, I segued into a conversation with him about, clicking everything online might not be the best thing for him if he's looking to, avoid calls like this from car salespeople, kind of trying to scare him a little bit into do the right thing for yourself, man. But this is when I realized something, is that some leads, they're looking for cars. Some leads are just looking for a distraction from everyday life, maybe while they're waiting for, their Uber or their DoorDash order. The point is that every single person that's going ahead and submitting to you is not buying. But the ones that are, that's where the gold mine is. And so we're going to get tactical today. We're going to go ahead and figure out exactly how to pull this off well, while also going ahead and keeping the meerkat manager at bay a little bit. So here we go. So here's the game plan. We're going to jump on in and we're going to take a look at how exactly these things come through and then how to treat them as well. Again, we're going to get tactical. It's not simply going to be, hey, here's 10 leads, call them all, because that could really take a big chunk of time out of your day and you may very well actually be wasting your time. So first and foremost, here it is. Stop treating those leads like every single click is a buying signal. In this business, we are told that, hey, everybody's buying. Yeah, you know what? Everybody is buying. They either buy or they die. That's the golden rule of car sales. Everybody needs a car. They go out, they get a job, they buy a car. It's just one of those big goals. But every single lead may not be interested. They may not be ready, right? And there's a big difference between a buyer that goes ahead and simply clicks the button and one that will email on in with paragraphs of information. We have a pretty good idea of which one's actually going to be serious. But let's take a look at the tone of things here, shall we? Because if somebody goes ahead and they click on a little link online and say, hey, you know what, on Facebook, I'm going to go ahead and inquire about this car. Okay, lead comes through on Facebook. Rule A number 1, you got to keep it casual with these individuals, right? Facebook is that casual zone. Anybody's willing to go ahead and talk about anything, start a war with anybody else, and watch every ad on the planet. But the thing is that when they do hit us up through Facebook, they're looking primarily for a casual conversation to get them on in the door, right? Now, are they going to buy? That's just as likely as everybody else. But there is a way to go ahead and sway them on over. Now, let's say it's through like trade pending, well, this person is very much along the lines of curiosity at this point, right? Speak to that curiosity, bump up that curiosity, get that person going ahead and salivating, asking more questions about that particular car, your dealership, and maybe even yourself. Remember, when it comes down to getting that person in the door, it's the connection that you have. If they think you're a total jerk, jerk, they're not coming in because we don't patron jerks. When it comes to somebody coming in, knowing that you're a decent person, we had a great conversation on the phone, yeah, they're going to come in. Or maybe it's on something like 700 credit or a couple other credit areas that send them on in, right? This is to reassure and simplify the process, right? These people have gone ahead and gone through a process already to get their lead at your door. They're slightly more serious than the rest. But the way that we go about it has to be, again, on point. And again, I'm going to use that word, tactical, right? We got to make sure that we have our own ducks in a row. First off, we have to expect that number one, well, it might not go our way, but we don't want to go on in expecting them to say no. We have to lead with value. This is the big thing. Is that many sales consultants out there, they're given this big fat list. Here's the people you got to call today. Here's your CRM. You have to click on through it and find all these phone numbers. You give people calls. Half the people don't pick up. And then all of a sudden you start getting desperate. Desperation is that item that gets phone numbers blocked, because with desperation, there's no ground for building any sort of relationship. You see, a relationship is built with like-minded people, meaning that we got to put ourselves in a position of openness to get that customer to talk to us. But as soon as you lead with desperation, you are targeting one specific thing that the customer may not be in any position to go ahead and actually talk to length about, which is what happens many times when they simply just click the button. So maybe start with something like this. Maybe take the little bit of the heavy lifting off of your shoulders, because this day and age, we have a lot more tools than some managers are willing to go ahead and tell us about. For example, when I was selling, phone call was it, right? Text message eventually came on and eventually became one of the big things that we used all the time. But leverage that. That is a really easy way of sending out a message that's not very confrontational, as long as you stage the message properly. Because when you give them a call, a lot of times people just won't pick up on a number that they don't know. I'm one of them. So try this. Send them a text with something to the effect of, hey, insert their name. Saw that you checked your trade value on our webpage, right? Just making sure that everything came through okay, right? If you need any help, please go ahead and drop me a line. This is way better than you going ahead and saying, hi, do you have time to talk about your car's extended warranty? Nobody wants to talk to you about their extended warranty, right? Nobody wants to talk to you and buy any warranty just randomly on the phone. It just is one of those things we just don't like. But try to, as you can, use some sort of follow-up rhythm that feels human. And this is something that works exceptionally well, right? Because when you realize that somebody has a genuine message, there's somebody that has a message that is non-confrontational, and they seem like they're somebody that you can connect with. It takes a little bit of time, but eventually they pick up the phone and they call back. So give this one a shot, right? So you're not trying to make the sale on day one. That's the big thing here, right? Everybody will tell you out there, hey, you know what? Go ahead, try to get the customer in right now. Well, okay. Don't give them a price over the phone. Why? Because they'll shop your number. Well, if I don't give them a number over the phone, then they're definitely not coming in. Don't give them a number. There's so many weird things that are out there. So here's a schedule for you. Give it a shot. Day one. Call, voicemail, text, all three of those things. Give them a call, leave them a voicemail, okay? Shoot them a text message. Day two, right? When it's still kind of fresh, email them, all right? Send them an email. Here's all the content. Here's the vehicle that you requested, and here's some cool stuff on it, right? So what we're doing is we are now showing the customer that I don't only just want you to come in, but I'm building value to allow you to know that I'm also a knowledgeable person. Now on day three, we're gonna leave that. Right? We're not going to do anything on day three, right? Day four, call them again. That's all you got to do. Just give them a call. You don't even need to leave a voicemail at this point in time. I still probably would, just to get that point across. But if they don't pick up, they don't pick up at this point. Now, leave it alone. Set that client to day 7. On day 7, text them. Hey, still thinking about it? Would you like to come on in? And we'll go through a couple of these in just a second. And then the last one here, on day 10, send them an email. Warm response, no pressure at all. Then stop. Respect their space. They're not an ex of yours. Don't be clingy. Because those people that are writing on in, again, are shopping not for a car. That's what they think they're shopping for now. But they're shopping for the thing that everybody hates shopping for when they're shopping for vehicles. They're shopping for a sales consultant. And so when it comes down to going ahead and contacting these individuals, you have to have some sort of cadence that, again, feels human-like. If you're jumping right onto them with, hey, here's a phone call, text, email, demanding, and you sound like somebody that's soliciting business, people don't want none of that, so don't give them that. Here's your modern messaging kit with some examples along the way here. First off, voicemail. Hey, so-and-so, it's me from Sardone Motors. Just saw that you checked your trade value online. I wanted to make sure that it made sense, right? I'm here to help if you're thinking about upgrading. No pressure either way. So you're leaving it open and you're taking that pressure item off the table. Now, this may not be enough. Keep in mind, this is your first call. So if this is your first call, just note they may not give you a call back. And that's okay because, again, you're a car sales consultant and you're selling something. So there's that little bit of fear that they may not go ahead and actually pick up the phone and call you because they don't want to be put in that conversation. But with that Facebook lead that you get on in here, go ahead, hit them back up, right? Send them a text, send them a message over Messenger. Hey, so-and-so, just wanted to make sure that you got the offer on that coupon okay, because that's what they clicked the button for. Let me know if I can help apply that to anything cool that we might have for you. So at this point, again, you're offering yourself up as value, but you're not soliciting. You're not going ahead and saying, hey, get on in here. I want to take your money. A lot of the times, that's what people hear. And then all of a sudden, here comes the fortress around them with, big block concreted defenses and, the cannons are out and the archers and everything, right? They're just saying, no, not at all. Now, if the customer does email on in, say through like a 700 credit thing or something like that, the subject line, zero stress, just options. Zero stress, just options. Imagine how different that would be than saying like, hey, from so-and-so Motors, your vehicle that you inquired about, bulleted. So if the email on in, let's say it's from an email system or a credit system or anywhere where they capture a lot of information from the customer, email them back, but change your headers. When it comes to that subject line needs to grab people. There needs to be a hook in there. And it can't be simply just throwing it out there going, well, here's your car and, information on vehicle and mileage and blah, blah, blah. People don't want to see that, right? That goes ahead and has me drag it from the place where it is over into my bin and then click delete, all right? It needs to be put a different way. There has to be a value proposition behind it. Keep in mind, you're talking to other humans, so it can't just be data. So try something like this. Hey, zero stress, just options for you. Put that right in the subject line. Zero stress, just options, right? Hey, Bill, thanks for checking out our credit options today. Totally okay if you're just exploring. But if you want to see what you qualify for without a sales pitch, I've got you covered, right? Let me know what feels helpful. And now you can go down a path of letting a customer know that, hey, it's okay, right? I know our reputation does not scream happy cheery, but there are some of us out there that actually do genuinely care about what's going on, right? These all will make the customer feel like a friend is reaching out. That's the tone that you have to carry, not a pushy, not polished to death sort of tone. Just a real human being on the other line. So get that schedule together. Again, that schedule, first day, call, text, voicemail. Second day, simple email. Fourth day, keep in mind we're skipping that third because, we're not in any sort of relationship here. Call again on the fourth day. The seventh day, send a text, a little reminder there, right? Like, hey, remember me kind of thing. And then also on day 10, warm, no pressure. Every single time that you reach out, you're adding value, you're adding value, you're adding value. You're doing what other sales consultants out there are unwilling to do. If you're going to be a sales consultant and just be pushy, well, enjoy poor survey scores. That's just what happens. Or enjoy customers that simply don't come on in. Let's zoom out for a second here. You're not in a race to convert leads. That's the wrong way to go about this. You're in a business of building trust from a random click. Every Facebook form, every auto APR ping, every credit app, these are just little signals, and we have to treat them as such. They're not shouts, and they're definitely not contracts. They're just whispers saying, maybe, but only if it feels right. And that's the thing there. It's the feel right part. If you lead with things like empathy, if you lead with patience and a vibe that says, I'm here to help you, not hunt you, people actually do respond to these things, right? And if you don't, that's okay too. You planted the seed, and who knows, maybe it grows later and the customer comes in a year and says, hey, you know what? You're that nice guy or gal that was emailing me, texting me, and I'm so sorry I didn't get back to you. It just wasn't the right time in my life, right? And I'm sure many of you that have been in this business have seen that happen that way, is that you stick around for a while, all of a sudden somebody's just standing there in front of you. Hey, you remember me? We talked 6 months ago? No, I don't, because you never responded. But, obviously don't respond with that because it'll be rude. But if they end up in front of you, awesome. You're building relationships. That's the whole point with this. But the truth is, you're not a closer on the phone. And there surely will be some people that you will call that will, can you do it for this price? Yeah, sure. Cool. Be right down. I got cash. All right. Awesome. I so much appreciate that. But on the phone, we're a connector, right? Those clicks have to translate into trust for us. Curiosity has to turn into comfort. And when the time is right, those questions will eventually turn into contracts. But as soon as you get pushy, those people turn into ghosts again, right? Humans will win it. Ghosts will not. Empathy will win. Struggles get people to go away. So if they don't answer, it's not personal. But if they do, make sure that the version of them that they meet of you is a kind, sharp version that is worth their time. If you can't be that person because you've had just a struggle bus of a day, then, well, don't call people. Maybe just take some ups for a little bit. Maybe, go ahead, walk around the block, whatever it might be. Get yourself in the right headspace. Because when it comes down to resetting, the BDC is one of the toughest places to make sure that your head is going to be in the right space all the time. Because cold calling people can be one hell of a bear. And when they're not reciprocating in ways that you would expect, like buying cars, it can cause a lot of trouble. Now, I know that many of your pay plans out there, when it comes to the BDC, are, weighed against how many people come through that front door. But imagine if the people that came through the front door came through because they connected with you in some way, because they saw that you were of value. Instead of going ahead and coming through the front door going, well, the best price, or maybe not showing up ever, or showing up and not giving one care about you as an individual. You need them to ask for you when they come in usually. So with this, just remember, we're not closing deals online, right? It's not your closing ratio. This is not a commission slip. Right? You're the one who shows up every single day. You're the one that gets the job done. If the customer doesn't show, they're just people. This is the system. This is how it works. So don't crush yourself on this stuff. I know many of you out there, when it comes to picking up that phone the next day, it's like being inside of a mortar and pestle and just getting ground down. Well, I'm here to tell you this. Is that if you start pivoting and you treat individuals like they are human, you start building a contact base of people that some of them may not buy. Some of them may go ahead and come in a little bit later on. Or some of them might just drop by and go, hey, you know what? You are actually a human. You responded in a way that actually had a heartbeat. I could see that you had warm blood running through your veins. Now, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, go to some of those other web pages, click on their buttons, have them give you a call, see how they respond. Because when you hear those responses, it's all about, when do you want to buy a car? When do you want to buy a car? When do you want to buy a car? How much more pressure can I add to you to buy the car? It's not a way of getting people in. People don't respond well to that. So this is Auto Nerd. I'll see you in your inbox. Have a great one. See you next Thursday. I hope this helped. Bye.